Okay, let's get back to the... Okay, good. I guessed right about the where to put the camera, mostly, although... Maybe I can move you a little bit further back. Maybe I can lower this chair. Okay, that's better, because like my head's not cut off by the top of the camera. Anyway, hi. Oh right, I just noticed like the stuff in the background. Pay no attention to that. There are goats, as promised. I'm not sure how I'm going to get them to be visible on camera. Oh, okay, so like... Oh, actually over here works a lot better. Yes, finally. They are tall enough for the camera. Okay, so there's been a few rounds of progress since I last showed you my graphgan. I'll just chit chat until someone shows up in the chat, but until then I'll just act like we're hanging out and chatting, drinking coffee. Hi, Amara, it's Joseph. I'm good. How are you? How are you? Not as bad as it looks with the tangles. This one's actually not as tangled as my past graphgans have been, but we're not on any really spicy bits yet, but this is one of my graphgans that's like, no, not completely safe for work, so like just a fair warning, but I do want to show you like how far I've gotten so far. So just a quick boop. It's a person from the hips up. Oh, cool. Congratulations, which is what I want to say. It has always been one of the hardest words for me to say without stuttering, but that's what I want to say. That's awesome. Hope that went well and that you had a great time. And that you're still having a great time. I'm happy to hear more about that if you want to share, but also up to you. Let's see. I have an entire tote bag of skeins of yarn for this project. Thanks, my bestie's mad. They eloped and didn't tell her till I came home the Monday. Oh, that you eloped. Yeah, well, sometimes that just makes more sense. I actually had, like, back when I was married, we actually didn't have anyone except the judge in the courthouse, and that was mainly because it just seemed like too much work to like find a friend that would come and be our witness, and it's just kind of funny. Like, in some ways I'm glad I didn't have like a big wedding, because then of course that marriage didn't work out. I'm sure that yours will, and I I hope that it will. But yeah, but there is actually something that I do consider um, my the 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 wedding, not really a like a human world marriage, but when I made my vows of um, um, dedication to my patron god, um, that felt a lot like a wedding, and to me it's kind of like nuns making their vows to God and kind of getting married in that way. So yeah, right. I think before I jump into this, I have a mystery package that came, and I think I know what it is. There was someone on there's someone I know on Instagram who was going to send me yarn, but I'm not sure if it's that. So we'll find out. Basically, it was a cheaper option than having a big wedding. Yeah, I mean that is a huge um, the consideration, right? And if a big wedding isn't important to you or your partner, then I was wrong about it being yarn. It's also important. It's masks, which is actually more yarn related than it first appears. Um, because I will need these not only for like if I need a more serious mask than just my cloth one, um, but also when I start dyeing yarn, which is imminent. Like I'm in the phase where I'm almost through all the like seller's permits and stuff, and I'm looking at where I can buy wholesale or bulk quantities of undyed yarn and dye and stuff like that. So we're so close. But yeah, one of the things I'll need is dust masks to be, because the dye is um, pow- powder, so you don't want to be breathing that in. So I was like, oh cool, that's one thing that I don't need to get because I have it, um, or at least I had ordered it, and now I have it. So cool. So speaking of yarn and projects, as I mentioned earlier, I'm working on the um, graphgan. This portion is not too too spicy, so I'll just show this portion. um, so yeah, what are y'all working on, and of course, what are you drinking? I'm having coffee in my mysterious Mist Mousse mug, which came from a thrift store. For a moment, I couldn't see the night goat, but the night goat, but then I realized he was just the blending in, which makes sense because night. The only tab I have open on my computer right now is the chart for this, so hopefully the Wi-Fi won't be a problem, but also I kind of need the chart because I can't do this from memory. Me and hubby said no to a big wedding, even though my dad said he was paying for it. Lol. I got married in my crochet holiday Felicia Bratz cosplay. Cool. So it's crochet and also it's cosplay, and that's a really cool thing to get married in. I think in my courthouse wedding, and also in my like pagan ceremony thing that I think of as a wedding that I mentioned earlier. I think both times I wore this kind of loose black blousey thing that kind of looks like a poet shirt. So I was like, yes, I wore black at my wedding. The most goth. Right, now we switch to green. Now you get to see behind the scenes of how these get made. Especially since right now you are facing this side where all of the strands of yarn hide. Let me remind myself which row we're on. Okay, I have two stitches of background, so I wait, no, we're past the 70s. We're into the 60s now. I count from the top down, but like I go from the bottom up, so we're going backwards through the rows. Oh yeah, I think I'm into row 60. Counting backwards from 110. Yeah, that looks right. Cool. So now I have 2 green and then 2 black. In my head while I'm doing these and trying to watch something else, I'm constantly just switching tabs and going, okay, 2 green, 2 black, 1 beige, 1 gray. I prefer to just listen to things while I'm doing this so that I don't have to switch back and forth, but sometimes I'm like, but I want to watch this thing. Or sometimes I'm going live and I'm just like, well, I have to see the chat. Luckily I brought my scissors because the way I do this is cut off bits of yarn either from the skeins, which is what I usually do, or sometimes I see that there's a color that hasn't been used in a couple of rows, but there's still a long strand of yarn coming out of the back, so I can't exactly carry it up here because that would be a long float, I think they're called, but I can snip that off and use the rest of the yarn without having to pull out more from the skein. So how is the winter weather in the other parts of the country or world? It rained really hard. I went grocery shopping on Tuesday, and I live on a hill, but when I got down to the valley kind of where the shops are, I was just like wading through the streets. Oh, you've been sorry, you've been thinking about starting your own handmade business selling hooks and finished objects. That would be cool. I would love to see that if you go for that. Small business, yay! Even though it's a lot of work, it's been really fun learning how to start my own small business. Like, there are so many different things to think about. Okay, before you were tailoring, you said? In Georgia, it's 70 Fahrenheit. Yeah, here it's, let's see, 61 right right now, which not too surprising for California Bay Area night, but checking the chart pen. Green, gray, 3 black. Well, it's time to get some gray. Well, the lighting's weird, so I can't like properly see what the colors are. Luckily we have gray. I was afraid I was going to miss one skein and then just be stuck because I need that color. There are 9 of them. I decided to use my reusable shopping bag that, of course, I use for shopping. Also as an easier way to take all of my streaming stuff between the office up here and the place where it lives downstairs where my room and my desk are. Checking the chart again. Okay, 3 black, 2 gray. So now they get to be. So now things get to ride up here in a Trader Joe's spooky palm tree bag. Oh, hi, the Luna, or sorry, Loon. my brain just went to like, I'm not sure, Elvish, where the E's are pronounced. The weather is weird in Florida. It will be 61 day and then 75 the next. Yeah, I feel like a lot of places, at least that I've been in the U.S. have that really have a lot of fluctuation in the weather. Kentucky is also like that. It's like seems to be known for changing a lot. Speaking of weather, I'm really glad it's not raining right now because I don't know if that was what was making my laptop keep kicking itself off of the Wi-Fi last time, but it certainly can't have helped. But also, I decided to change to I'm using an app where I have my phone camera in place of the webcam, so that's why I'm looking over here to see the chat or to see what I'm doing, but the camera's actually over here. So my laptop and phone were connecting via Wi-Fi, but now they're on a USB cable because I was like, well, if that is the problem, then at least that's one less thing to worry about. That feel when you have to do all this tech stuff so you can actually do the fun stuff. All right, gray, 3 whites. So I'm thinking a lot about yarn these days, not just because I'm crocheting, but also because I want to start dyeing yarn, and I'm almost to where I can start doing that. So I would love to hear what your favorite yarn is, either hand-dyed or otherwise. Margray. I'm really enjoying the yarn from Boss Kitty that I got on Black Friday, I think. So I got 3 hanks of her yarn and currently working with the core line, which is the sparkly blue one. But I have to get a yarn winder or like learn how to unwind hanks with, like I've heard there's a way to do it around the dining room chairs and stuff, and because when I tried to unwind the hank, I spent 2 days trying to untangle it, and I got most of it, but eventually I had to toss them. But I guess we live and learn. Yeah, sport weight yarns are great. Hi, it's good to have you, Nocturnal Witch. Yes, I hope that the stream will work this time too. I think it probably should. It seems like it was either the rain last time or my laptop and phone having a hard time finding each other. But now I have them on a USB connection, so hopefully that should help. I wasn't thinking, and I did a slip knot like I'm starting a piece instead of changing colors. So I am proud of myself for being able to do any of this while talking. So. But yeah, for anyone that's new and hasn't chatted yet or just came in, I would love to hear what you're the working on or the drinking. I'm checking the chart. No, I don't want pop-up news, thank you. 3 white, oh, and then 2 of a color that is unfortunately named caramel. I say unfortunate because it's one of the skin tone yarns that I'm using in this piece, so it always weirds me out when when the yarns that happen to be skin tones in my piece are like named for food. It's like the trope that's known as this um, Starbucks coffee skin tone scale. Not had the chance to try dyed yarn yet, but when I do, it will be Boss Kitty's. My favorite weighted yarn is a worsted weight. Yeah, that's one of my favorite too. And I've loved Boss Kitty's yarn so far. I think that is the first hand dyed yarn I've tried personally, which is weird because I've been wanting to dye my own yarn for a long time, but I just haven't actually seen dyed yarn up close yet. Currently working on a baby blanket for a nephew to be. Cool. For anyone who just got here, I am working on a commission for a friend. This is one of my pixel art graphgan charts that is only a little bit spicy, but this part is mostly not spicy, so I'll just show this part. But this one is of a Welsh goddess named Cradalad. And let me check the chart. Ooh, okay, so we left the gray behind in this section. That will probably only make sense to me. Caramel, butter, caramel. The two skin tone yarns, at least for the skin that isn't under the veil. This one is, I think the names are, this one is caramel, and this one is butter. Which, I mean, it's a great name. It just feels weird to me personally, since it's like tasty. Just since it happens to be a skin tone in this piece. But yeah, oh, what's my Etsy shop called? It is Thirst Pixels. Thirst, like I've got to drink some coffee. I'm thirsty. Not exactly like that, but pixels is in like PIXELS. So yeah, I have charts and downloadable printable stickers in it now. Planning to start a website that has more of my hand dyed yarn and some. I'll probably start having more of my work over there, like charts and stuff. But yeah, thanks for asking. It's always nice when people want to check out my charts. Oh, and by the way, this one is the name in the shop is called this one's called Wedding Night, which is oddly fitting since we've been talking about weddings. So Gray, white, green, white. Okay. Oh no, I accidentally started Discord. I don't want you, Discord, thank you. I'm trying to minimize the amount of work that my computer has to do right now just so we have a smooth stream. Okay, more gray. I'm finding that a lot of the places where I need gray don't have a strand there in the chart, so that's why I've had to add in a lot in this row. Let's see, I think I'm almost halfway done with this, which is cool. Goats. I was trying to think of something for us to chat about, but like head empty, only goats. So, if anyone has questions or like anything they want to talk about, go ahead and throw it in the chat. Ooh, working on bags for your shop. Cool. Yeah. How was everyone's holidays? Yeah, mine. Yes, that's a great question. I would love to hear the other people's news. Mine was great. I actually didn't think about Christmas much at all, which for me was nice to have that choice. But I spent a week in a cabin in the woods with a couple of friends and just wrote and crocheted and stuff. Yes, there is a lot of spice. It's so like I have so much fun drawing it, and which is where the pixel art comes in, and then it's pretty easy to change pixel art into charts. So I thought, well, now I can draw it in yarn too, and other people can too if they want. Hi, sorry, I always worry that I'm going to stutter when I say hi or say someone's name. So I noticed that the crochet hooked is here. I am glad to have you here. Very nervous about starting my own Etsy store. Yes, I totally get that. It can be really nerve-wracking, but the best advice I got, if you want advice, was like to just go ahead and do it. That was more about starting my own YouTube channel. But like, I feel like people learn a lot by doing, and that's not to say that you can't learn like from the reading about other people's experiences or advice, but like yeah, what's helped me is just like I've I've put myself out there. I've put myself out there enough times at this point that I kind of know. Okay, so my brain's saying that I'm gonna look silly and everyone will hate me, but I know that actually isn't true, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. That may or may not work for you, um, but yeah, I agree. It is exciting, and I feel like many people will like. I found the crochet and crocheting community is usually very supportive. Ooh, you're finishing up your snood. Cool. And you unfortunately tested positive for COVID this morning. I am sorry to hear that. I hope that you get better soon and have an easy convalescence. Drink the water. Which this is not, but like it's blue, so that counts, right? Time for another beige. One interesting thing is that I don't know how much of each skein I'll have left at the end of any graphgan project that I start, because I probably didn't use the same amount of each color in the picture. I could probably write or find a program to count the number of pixels and see what are the amounts, and then like estimate the quantity of yarn based on that. That would be a cool program to write, actually. I could probably do it in this one programming language that I was learning for a while. But yeah. Do I have a Discord? No, I don't have one just for my crochet stuff, but if there's if there's interest, I might start one. I do have a Discord. I do have a Discord account, but not like a server. That would be a fun place to like just hang out and talk more about the things that I would like to be able to talk about in the crochet world, but I don't want to take up the other makers spaces with like pagan stuff, or sometimes I'm unless I know that talking about spice is okay, then I'm like not gonna bring that up in someone else's server or group. But yeah, in my own group, as long as we're over 18, we can talk about spice. So yeah, that I think I'm adding that tentatively to my list of things I want to do. So let me think about that, and I will let you know if something with that happens. But I appreciate knowing that that there's interest, because that that tells me it might be a good thing to do. And where are we on the chart? 2 white, 3 green. I accidentally opened Discord again. The logo for Discord and Streamlabs on my taskbar is like similar enough that my brain gets confused. So I switch over to my browser tab to see the chart. Then I go back and I'm like, oh, right, the place I'm most often on, which is the Discord. Then I'm like, wait, no, I'm on Streamlabs. So. I also assign names to the colors, like if there are 2 shades of blue, I'm like, okay, this one's deep, this one's sky. So that I can keep track of them if I have to do the 2 of this, 3 of that. First I'm gonna rewind this game a bit. A lot of yarn bar came out. Okay, here we are. It's kind of cool showing you where this is now, because I think we were at the bottom border last time I showed it, and now I'm halfway up the whole thing. Speaking of spice, we're not quite there yet in picture, but we're almost hit deep. Certainly, I made a joke to my friend while making this work. We are elbow deep, because this is her elbow. The person in this picture. I think it was 2 white, 3 green. So it is kind of known that my favorite types of crochet include graphgans and lace. I'm trying to think if there's other, which is it's kind of cool to be known for things, but I was wondering what y'all's favorite types of crochet or projects to make are. And white, 2 purple. Okay. I remembered. It's Streamlabs this time. Oh. I'm not sure if my chat wasn't updating or was not scrolling down, but if it took me a while to respond, it's because I didn't see it. But wow, that's a lot of chat. Cool. Oh, I almost forgot. I've learned to design Victorian and Regency-inspired crochet items and knit items as well. That sounds awesome. I would love to see that if you happen to have them on Instagram or somewhere like that. Currently making a mushroom, but the stump is blue, the curly stuff on the stump is purple, and the top is hot pink. Cool. is what pattern is that? I was just curious because um, I did a tutorial, not of a pattern that I wrote, but just like there's one pattern that's like a mushroom out lace out, um, applique. So, but it sounds like it might be a different pattern. It does sound like psychedelic though. Deciding whether or not to put spots on. If I do, they will be orange. Nice. I'm working on a design once I've completed the bag I'm making to store it in. Nice. Yeah, anyone who wants to put their Instagram handle, please. That would be great. And not to assume, but I'm not sure if you meant me, and in that case, I'm at thorn underscore wing underscore underscore crochet. So, but I've forgotten what the chart was doing. White, purple, purple. Okay. Oh, cool. I can snip this off and use it for the next bit of this card, because we're done here. Didn't you use a pattern? I really like making up patterns. Cool. Yeah, that is a good skill too. Crochet Mom 32. Cool. I will try to remember that and follow you. Crochet Mom 32. Oh, thanks, Amaris. It is very helpful to have more people following me on Instagram. And that way you get to see my goat content, because Bonrose has lots of tiny goat adventures over there. Speaking of Discord, on one of my Discords, my nickname is currently Tiny Goat Adventure Zone. Actually, I think it probably won't break anything. Knock on this nice wooden desk. If I open Instagrams, because I'm not sure I'll remember that I was supposed to follow you and what your name was. So let me do that now. Not sure if you can hear my housemate's dog in the background. She's so cute, and it seems like she's having a hard time right now. I forgot the mom part. Crochet 32. Okay. I'm having trouble finding you right now, but I'll try and look again later. Yay, Instagram making connections. That that poor dog. I mean, she is fine. I'm just like, I'm not sure why she's sad right now, but one green. A couple of weeks ago, I think she got an ear infection, and so they had to put meds on her ears, and they were like, my housemates were like, we had to bribe her with all of her favorite foods, and she was not happy. Purple, white. Nice. And a rememberable pattern. Have you ever done freehand crocheting before? Do you mean like without a pattern? Actually, most of the crochet I've done in the past, and sometimes even now, has just been kind of making stuff up as I go. Um, it's only recently that I've started to learn more about how to follow a pattern. I always relate a lot to Evelyn from Pink Sheep saying that it's hard for her to follow patterns, so that's why she writes them. but I'm but also if there's something else that it means. Oh, okay, yes, without a pattern. So yes, I have. It always feels a bit weird to like try to either follow a pattern or like write down what I'm doing while I'm trying to make a pattern, because I'm like, okay, I have to think about it, and so the other people and me can do it again in the future. And actually, I just noticed we're almost at 6 p.m., so I have to go soon. But I got most of a row done, so that's more than I thought I would actually. Oh, good. Yeah, that. Thanks, Crochet Hooked. That way I can find you and follow back. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. But I'm really happy that all of you came here and that we had a stream that worked after last week, where it was kicking me off the stream like every 10 seconds. So like I had to time the things I said in like short bursts, like just to sound bite. but yeah, I think we're gonna go. We're going to go. Have a great night, and happy crocheting.